What's going on, everybody? It's Andy here and welcome to my Game Week 21 preview, a mostly weekly video where I take you through my team, thoughts going into the next week, who I'm captaining, who I'm bringing in, who I want to take out, etc, etc. There wasn't one of these for Game Week 20. The Game Weeks are basically coming thick and fast over Christmas, as I'm sure you realise, in the new year, which is great from a football viewing point of view, but for making FPL content it can get a bit tricky. So we've got one for Game Week 21. We've just done a stream yesterday night, so this will go out the next day. Hopefully there'll be a preview for Game Week 22 as well, but we'll wait and see on that because the turnaround time is basically the game week finishes and then the next day the next game week starts. So that's the quickest turnaround we will have all year. So we'll see what happens there. Either way, we'll jump straight into this one. I'll take you through what I got in Game Week 20 quickly and what I'm looking at doing for Game Week 21 and kind of beyond, because obviously there's a double game week coming up soon. For those of you who don't know, Spurs and West Ham will blank in Game Week 21, and in Game Week 22 they'll play twice. So let's just jump straight into it and I'll show you my team for this week. So, or I should say team for last week. So for Game Week 20 I scored 77 points. That dropped me from 69,000 to 75k. So for those of you that are watching the streams and stuff, you'll know that I have looked at possibly taking Kane out recently, and I ended up not doing it because Morata got suspended, so I ended up taking him out instead, which meant I kept Kane. I got his hat-trick against Burnley, and I got the hat-trick against Southampton, which I captained him for. So who knows what kind of state I'd been in if I hadn't kept him, if I got rid of him. Even with a 34 captain score, I still only scored 77, which I know isn't so bad, and a 6k rank drop isn't the end of the world. But loads of people went past me this week who did really well. Some of the key points were having like Coutinho instead of Pogba, having Firmino up front instead of having to make do with Charlie Austin and Calvert-Lewin in your side, which is just awful for me. And obviously a lot of people jumped on Alonso this week. I got Jones in, which was a mistake. I basically made 3 transfers in Game Week 19, I think it was, and bought in Smalling, trying to be clever that he had more goal threat than Jones. Even though I'd seen that Man United's defence hadn't kept many clean sheets, I still went for Smalling. And then when he got injured, I went for Jones again, knowing that we hadn't got too many clean sheets. With Smalling out and Valencia out, our defence was weakened. Jones didn't get a clean sheet. It's not looking great. I probably needed to take some money out of my defence. I haven't done that. So this is the situation we're in right now. 77 points. So I'll only quickly go for it. Calvert-Lewin just not going to be good enough for a second striker. I need to change him at some point. Pogba is basically flattered. Well, he isn't even flattered to deceive. He's just done rubbish. Obviously, he's come back from his suspension. 2 games, he's played really deep. He's not been given the freedom to go forward, which he had earlier in the season. Lingard, for like 2 million less, is doing much better than him. He's playing in the number 10 spot. He's getting into the box. He's getting shots. Who looks like a much better option. Even when he got benched, he come on and got 2 goals. That's kind of Man City-esque to do that. Hazard's probably up for the chopping block. He's a frustrating one because we know he can do well. He's even playing really well. He's just not getting FPL points. So I'll probably look to get rid of him. It won't be for this week though. And obviously Sterling and Salah again doing the business. Didn't captain them because obviously I got Kane's hat-trick, but Salah and Sterling chipping in with points again, absolutely essential right now. And Otamendi, I got him after the goal, so I've not had a goal from him yet, but 8 points, another game week with bonus. That's 3 clean sheets in the 4 game weeks that I've had him. Great fixtures to come. Even though Man City's defence can be seen as dodgy at times, they keep the ball for for such a long period in the games that the other team just doesn't get the ball off and doesn't get many chances. And they press so much to get the ball back afterwards. It's very tricky for, especially the weaker teams, to get the ball back and have a go. So Otamendi's been a great pick. But from there, we're just going to jump into, because I'm going to start talking about next week anyway, I'm going to put my team up for this week on screen. Hopefully it'll load for me right now. There we go, I'll just bring it down a sec. We'll do all this in one take live. Not live, obviously, but one take pre-recorded. So this is how I'm lining up for this week. As I mentioned at the start of the video, Kane's got a blank this week, so I can't play him. I've still got Charlie Austin, who's injured. So right now I'm having to play 4-5-1, which, if everyone plays, it's not too bad. Obviously, Christensen missed the last game for illness. He's back in training today, so hopefully he'll play against Stoke. Jones against Southampton's a good fixture. Charlie Austin's injured. Gabbiadini. Shane Long hasn't scored in like 33 matches. Gabbiadini's not a fantastic striker, so hopefully Jones has a clean sheet there. Although, like I said, I think Man United have only kept 1 clean sheet in 7 Premier League games, so fingers crossed we can start turning that around. Otamendi obviously plays, and then I can play me or Duffy this week. I think I'm going to play me. I've got Elliott in goal against Brighton right now, rather than doing the Burnley double up. And then obviously the midfield looks fine on paper. Salah and Sterling No questions about them, really. They're obviously going to play. Salah's my captain this week. I'll talk about captain in a minute. Richarlison has only got a couple of assists in like the last 6 or 7 games or something, but he looked dangerous in the last game again. Swansea's a great fixture. They got a new manager, yes, but they're kind of bottom of the league and doing rubbish this year, so hopefully Richarlison can get some points. He missed another sitter in the last game, but eventually those are going to go in again. So I think he's looking okay, although for the double game week I might get rid. And then Hazard, a lot of people getting rid of him. I can definitely see why. Yes, he's playing well. Yes, that'll probably convert into FPL points soon. But for 10.7 million or whatever kind of price he is now, we've got to look at starting to get rid of him because there's other players that are performing for less money, more consistently. Look at Coutinho, for example, someone I don't have. So I think in Gameweek 22, when there's kind of Spurs mids, Arnautovic, Lanzini from West Ham on offer for the double, we're going to see quite a few sales out for Hazard. Plus he's playing Arsenal. The only flip side is, that's the kind of game he'll then go and score kind of a goal and an assist or 2 goals and just come away with a big haul. He's not necessarily someone we can nail on, and this is an easy fixture. He's going to get points. He can perform in those big games, and we've seen it before. But I think for his price, he's someone you've got to look to get rid of to kind of bolster your squad elsewhere. And then for my particular team, I've got to get rid of Pogba. If he does, by some kind of miracle, gets a couple of goals against Southampton's given a bit more licence to get forward, it's not necessarily a problem about his attempts. I think he had like 5 attempts in the last game. The problem is they're all coming from outside the box, which is obviously harder to score. Yes, he could knock one in every now and again, but he's not consistently going to get those good attempts like someone like Lingard is currently getting. So Pogba long-term also has to go, but I don't think this is the week to do it. Up front, I've just got Calvert-Lewin. I should get rid of Austin, really. The problem is I don't have any money to upgrade him to Firmino or Morata, and there's no one else I'm really interested in. I could get Quaynor in from Huddersfield and save some money, which is something I'm thinking about doing, but I'm not sure then what I do with Calvert-Lewin, and when I make my transfers for the double game week, I'm probably going to mostly bring in midfielders. So right now I'm keeping Austin because... not because I want him, obviously he's injured and suspended right now, but I'm keeping him because I want 2 free transfers going into Game Week 22. And the only thing I could do this week is take hits to improve my squad. And I'm not against hits. In fact, I think my team probably needs a couple of hits over the coming weeks to make a few changes and kind of breathe some life into it. I've got most of the core players that everyone else has got, like Salah, Sterling, Kane, Chelsea defender, Man City defender, etc. But I just think those other slots I need to get better players in. I've obviously missed out on people like Kenny for too long now. I don't know if I necessarily need to bring him in because of fixtures, but he's just another example of where I've missed out. So hits are coming for me, I think, but this week I'm probably going to save a transfer. Let me know what you think below. Do you think I'm kind of risking too much this week by going with Calvert-Lewin up front? And my only bench is Duffy, so as soon as a couple of players miss out, I'm kind of screwed. There's a lot of talk about Sterling. Will he get his rest? He's played 90 minutes like 8 times in a row now, I think, but I've got a feeling he's going to play the next 2 and he'll get his rest in the FA Cup. Man City have got Burnley at home, so hopefully that's where he gets his rest. And then he'll be fresh after that again for the next January Premier League game. And just to talk about captain, obviously with Kane out, with Kane out, we can go to Salah, who scores points in every single game. So it's not the most tricky captain option, maybe. The thing with Salah is if you have him, it's great. He scores points. But if you don't captain him and he does really well, you're probably going to get a red arrow for that because the amount of people that own him and the amount of people that will captain him. This week, Chelsea have got Stoke, and Stoke's defence is decimated. That happened earlier in the season, and Morata got a hat-trick. So if you've got Morata or Hazard, they could be an outside captain differential. It depends on kind of your risk-reward thinking in your head. So for me, I've thought about Hazard captain because if he does do well and he does outscore Salah, that's going to be a big rankings boost because he's already a differential just to own, let alone to captain. And Stoke's defence is pretty bad. We've seen him play better with Morata in the team, and Morata will almost certainly play. So Hazard could be a decent captain. Morata could be scored a hat-trick earlier in the season against them, like I said. But for me, the risk is just too... The risk is too big not to captain Salah this week. He scores points in nearly every single game. We've seen that he can get double-figure hauls. Leicester maybe are going to sit back too much and try and counter-attack Liverpool, and maybe that will actually work in their favour. Liverpool might find it a bit harder to break them down if they sit deep. Salah doesn't have as much space to run into. I just think he's so dangerous. He's going to get so many chances. Liverpool are in great form right now. Even if Coutinho gets rested, which a lot of people in the FPL community think might happen, Mane will come in. So Lallana's back. It's not like they've got a lack of options. So I think I'm going to captain Salah. At the end of the day, if that fails, so many other people are captaining too. It won't hurt me too much. And I know that's a kind of... a lot of people are going to see that and see that as a negative way of playing, but sometimes you've got to look at the amount of ownership a player has and go from there. Yes, Hazard could be a better option, but I'm not going to risk it this week. I still think with kind of 17 game weeks to go, I think it's 17, I'm still not in a position where I really want to risk something too much. I know that's the kind of player I am. It worked well for me last year, so I want to see in kind of year 2 of playing that way if it works the same. And maybe if I'm still struggling towards the end, maybe with 10, 9, 8, 7 game weeks to go, then I'll take some bigger risks. But for now, I'm going to go for Salah. That's why his ownership is just crazy big. I'm not going to make a transfer. Let me know if you think that's too risky. I just think with rotation, there's every chance that I bring someone in that gets rotated anyway. And I think 2 free transfers with the double game week is going to be pretty important. I might even make 4 transfers and take an 8-point hit. I haven't decided yet. I'll just quickly, just in case I don't get to make a video before Game Week 22, I'll quickly touch on who I'm thinking about bringing in. Arnautovic for Richarlison. I think West Ham look good because not only have they got a double game week, but their fixtures afterwards look good, and Arnautovic is in really good form. Son just looks really explosive right now, and then maybe one of Ali or Eriksen. I'll have to downgrade Hazard to fund all this, but it would be Richarlison, Pogba and Hazard out to get those 3. And I think right now, I'd probably go Dele Alli. I just think he's got more chance to explode in the double game week than Eriksen, even though Eriksen's probably the safer option. So I'll be looking at Son, Ali, and Arnautovic to go with Harry Kane, who I will probably triple captain. I'm going to attempt to make a double game week video, which will go live after this one. So if I get a chance to do that, I'll go more in depth about who I'm choosing and what options you've got, because there's obviously Lanzini, Eriksen, Spurs defenders, West Ham defenders, etc. So I can't touch on it too much in this video because it's just a preview for Game Week 21. But yeah, that's me. I'm ranked 75k. I checked this time last year. I don't think it was the same game week because we've had more game weeks so far this year, but around the same time, give or take a game week, I was 345k. So doing much better this year, and there's many more players, so I'm doing all right. I just feel that I could be doing better. I just need that game week where I'm going to get a big push into kind of the top 50, top 25k, and maybe I should be captaining Hazard to do that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new around here. That'll let you know when all my videos are going live and when my live streams are going live. So I live stream. I try and do it twice a week. With the game weeks coming so thick and fast, it doesn't happen so often, but check them out. I'll answer your questions, we'll discuss, you give me your thoughts, answers, etc., and we'll go from there. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to leave it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Good luck in Game Week 21, and I'll catch you soon.